NASA's Space Launch System is undergoing a major test for the Artemis 2 mission after cold weather this weekend caused a delay. The countdown simulation test was originally set for this weekend, but is now taking place at the launch site at Cape Canaveral. The wet dress rehearsal involves loading the rocket with hundreds of thousands of pounds of propellant and is expected to last till the early hours of Tuesday morning. Due to the delay, the earliest launch date for Artemis 2 would be February 8th. An Alabama native is being tasked with helping Space Command move to the Rocket City. Space Command Commander Stephen Whiting announced that Major General Terry Grisham will serve as the command's transition team director. You can see Grisham on the right here. Grisham comes into the role with nearly 4 decades of military and civilian service and will lead the program management office in Huntsville while also overseeing support for the headquarters transition.
The U.S. starts a new week without Washington, D.C. running at full throttle.
The question mark over a government shutdown is certainly a big one and a political problem, really for both parties, but certainly for Republicans right now, as the polling is showing a great deal more pressure on them.
On Tuesday, the House is expected to vote on the funding package that passed through the Senate last week.
Because of the conversation I had with Hakeem Jeffries, I know that we've got to pass a rule and probably do this mostly on our own. I think that's very unfortunate.
The legislation backs most government agencies through much of the year, except the Department of Homeland Security, which will only get funded for 2 weeks while lawmakers work to reform DHS's immigration operations.
Body cameras should be mandatory. Masks should come off. Judicial warrants should absolutely be required, consistent with the Constitution in our view, before DHS agents or ICE agents are breaking into the homes of the American people or ripping people out of their cars.
This partial government shutdown is expected to last until at least Tuesday, while Washington, D.C. tries to come to some sort of agreement.
So I think it's all of our responsibilities to reopen the government.
I'm not just a no, I'm a firm no, and I'm going to advocate with colleagues that they vote no.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Now, the Tennessee Valley's certified most accurate forecast from the Fox 54 Weather Impact Team.
You can never go wrong with breakfast.
I was just about to say, I think it's my favorite genre of food.
No, seriously. And like, if I feel like if I could eat one breakfast thing for the rest of my life, it literally would be gravy and biscuit.
Oh, I'm a big cereal person, I found out recently.
Yeah, I mean, really and truly, I like it all, but just something hits about a gravy and biscuit.
Oh, I haven't had one in a while. I'll have to go get one.
Let's go ahead and jump out to our Fox 54 radar because we are tracking a few snow flurries right now over in Lauderdale and Colbert counties. But that's all that it's expected to be, is just a few snow flurries. Just something nice to look at while we're still enjoying these very, very cold temperatures. Now, we may continue to see this press more towards the south. So if we do start to see flurries in some portions across the Tennessee Valley as that specific area does move southward, don't be surprised. But like I said, it's literally only going to be snow flurries. But our temperatures are also going to be cold, mid-20s right now in Florence, 27 in Russellville. We're sitting at 23 degrees right now in Pulaski, 26 here in Huntsville, 29 down in Coleman, 27 degrees in Scottsboro and in Fort Payne. And wind speeds are a lot calmer than what we were experiencing about this time yesterday. We were seeing wind speeds of around 15, 16 miles per hour in some locations across the Tennessee Valley. But right now we're only seeing, it looks like it's ranging between 2 to 4 miles per hour across the Tennessee Valley. So definitely much calmer, and that's going to help with our wind chill values heading into tomorrow as well. So for tonight, low 20s is where we're headed for temperatures for the overnight tonight, and for tomorrow we're going to get really close to that 50-degree mark, but we're still expected to reach the upper 40s for the afternoon, and we will see plenty of sunshine. Now, high temperatures all across the board. Some of us may even hit the low 50s. 51 expected tomorrow in Moulton. Still expected to see upper 40s on the western side of the Tennessee Valley, potentially 50 degrees in Decatur tomorrow. Scottsboro expected to see right around 47, and Fort Payne potentially going to be dealing with the low 40s. Now, high temperatures this week after tomorrow, they are going to rise heading into Tuesday. In fact, we'll be right at that average high temperature mark, our average high for this time of the year, right around 54. So we're going to be 1 degree above it. But either way, it's going to be feeling a lot warmer than what we've been dealing with the past couple of days here. But we do have a little bit of a cool down for Wednesday and Thursday after the cold front moves through. And then by about Friday, it looks like we'll be back in the mid and upper 50s before heading into the weekend. So we have a cold front that's going to come through. I just mentioned it. It is also going to be bringing in some rain heading into Tuesday. So notice we'll probably be dealing with widespread rain, mainly around the 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock time frames is what it's looking like for the heaviest of it to be. So just as we get ready to head home from school on Tuesday, probably going to be needing your umbrella and your rain jacket. But by 5 o'clock, western side of the Tennessee Valley starts to dry out, but we're still expected to be dealing with a little bit of rain on the eastern side. And then we're completely dry by late Tuesday night, and we'll stay that way for Wednesday. So rain chances for this week only have a 70% for Tuesday. I put a 20 in for Wednesday, but that's specifically for early Wednesday morning in case a few lingering showers decide to stay with us. But we're dry for the rest of this week. And like I mentioned, we got a little bit of a warm up heading our way. Mid-50s expected on Tuesday. We'll be back in the low 40s for Wednesday and Thursday before we return to the upper 50s by Friday. And looking ahead into the weekend, it looks nice. We'll be seeing some sunshine, high temperatures in the upper 40s. All right.
Did you know that you can get weather impact updates 24/7 on Fox 54 Plus? Here's how. Go to Fox 54 Plus on your Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, or Samsung. Once you're on the main screen, push the down arrow and click on the Fox 54 Plus Weather Impact 24/7 block. Here, you'll find radar, current temperatures and conditions, traffic cams, forecasts, and more, all available on demand. Want to get back to the main channel? Just push the down arrow and click on the 24/7 stream button. It's your weather impact updates 24/7 on Fox 54 Plus. Start streaming today.
The North Alabama Black Realtors Association began when black real estate professionals couldn't join the National Association of Realtors. Sharita Whitehead, the incoming president, says the gala allows members to learn who is leading the organization.
Part of my theme is unity in action, and so to unite everyone for a common mission is, to me, important.
Founded almost 80 years ago, NABRA has expanded while staying true to its mission of promoting wealth building, incorporating a faith-based element. Attendees included County Commissioner Violet Edwards, Councilmember Michelle Watkins, and Governor candidate Doug Jones.
What I want to do moving forward for my presidency, I want to make sure to collaborate with other organizations, whether it's the Junior League, whether it is the Chamber, anyone who can help us with our mission.
Keynote speaker Doug Jones shared with Fox 54 his campaign focus and goals for Alabama.
We have spent a lot of time trying to work with recruiting candidates, and we're really proud of the candidates that have been recruited to run statewide and for legislative candidates. There's a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of momentum.
Jones says developing a state lottery should be the next governor's top priority.
We're the only state in the Southeast that does not have a lottery. So all of our money's going to Georgia and Mississippi and Florida and Tennessee. And we need to keep it here, and we're missing out on literally billions of dollars at this point.
Senator Tommy Tuberville's residency has come into question because he lives in Florida while serving as Alabama's senator, raising constitutional concerns.
It's the law. It's required. You can't just pick and choose what pieces of the Constitution and the law that you want to abide by, which is really one of Senator Tuberville's problems right now.
Jones added he was honored to have been in attendance at the gala, celebrating the organization's legacy and members' achievements. After the final curtain closed on the Loomis Bros Circus in Huntsville, the traveling three-ring show is moving to its next stop. But its time in the Rocket City has sparked conversation about what it takes to keep a major circus on the road and how the show cares for the animals that are part of the performance. The Loomis Bros Bros Circus just wrapped up its Huntsville performances, drawing families to a traditional big top show with modern elements. Many of the performers come from families with generations of history in the circus industry, passing down skills and traditions from one generation to the next.
I'm fourth generation, so I was born here, so that's all I know how to do. Yeah, I'm eighth or ninth generation.
For the cast and crew, the work continues long after the final act. Once the last performance ends, the entire operation begins breaking down and preparing to move to the next city.
It takes me and my crew, it's about, I want to give it maybe about 4 hours to get everything set and ready. Now when it's time to leave and take it down, it takes us about an hour, and that's because we're ready to go to bed.
Tonight we have 2 shows. We tear down, we travel to the next town, we get there, sleep a little bit, wake up, set up, get ready. All over again, the same thing.
The circus's stop in Huntsville also brought attention to questions about animal welfare. People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, known as PETA, raised concerns about the use and care of animals in traveling circus performances.
Loomis Brothers, we put animals at the highest priority. They're one of the, not only are the biggest stars of our show, but they're the most important, almost need the most care.
Just magnificent. Well, sir, what do you think? Good boy!
Show manager Christian Loyal says the care of their animals is regulated by federal standards, subject to regular inspections, and that animal handlers and veterinary professionals are involved in daily care.
We want to make sure that the animals are always comfortable in their situations. We make sure we have the right paperwork. They're always inspected. We have people come and check out our animals, and everything's out in the open. Nothing's hidden. Everybody can come see how we care for our animals.
As the Loomis Bros Circus continues its tour, the discussion surrounding tradition, entertainment, and animal welfare continues as well, a conversation that often follows traveling circuses from city to city. After its final performance in Huntsville, the Loomis Bros Circus.
In Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, the star of the show is clear. It's a tradition that dates back almost 140 years.
Well, first of all, we're true believers. We actually believe in Punxsutawney Phil and Groundhog Day.
And neither snow nor ice nor wind chills in the single digits stop Punxsutawney Phil's faithful from a festive countdown to the Groundhog Day forecast.
Until then, he is warm and he is fed well, and he is, he makes a few appearances over Groundhog Day, but some of that time he's just resting and getting fed and staying warm.
The Punxsutawney Groundhog Club's inner circle, obvious around town with their top hats and tails, takes care of Phil and promotes the groundhog tradition year-round.
He does a lot of appearances throughout the year, just different tourist activities, visits some schools, does some parades. Wherever we're asked to go, really, we'll go.
But leading up to February 2nd, it's a flurry of activity in Punxsutawney's downtown and at the nearby Gobbler's Knob site, home of the Groundhog Day ceremony since it all began. With visitors scooping up merchandise with Phil's furry face, Phil-themed snacks and drinks,
Have a nice day.
and ringing up a midwinter's boost during some very cold days.
Punxsutawney, where we're sitting today, has an amazing Main Street, great businesses that get into the act. But it's also really important, not just today, but year-round. People know Punxsutawney, right, globally because of Groundhog Day.
In Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, I'm Karen Kafa.
Customers have not fallen out of love with Starbucks, but they become polyamorous in their choice of coffee, meaning that they still like Starbucks. Starbucks is still on their mind when they're thinking about coffee, but there's a lot of options out there that they have now. So they're just as likely to do that quick cup of coffee from the gas station, or maybe they're looking for something a little bit more special and they're going to go to one of the competitors. Starbucks is really leaning on the fact that people want to go back to their cafes and spend time there. But what the data is showing is that people want coffee more quickly. About 70% of every cup of coffee is now done on the go. It's done either through an app or it's done through drive-through. So I think the strategy is interesting, but is it really going to lure people back to Starbucks? Looks like the data is not going to confirm that. So it will be interesting to see if Starbucks can really create that experience that makes people want to go back to their cafes.
I don't like any coffee, any flavor from Starbucks at all. Yeah, so I like Luckin more, but the coffee of Luckin is so strong, really strong, and very, very cheap. When you use the app, they always give you 50 or 70% off. Like this one, it's just $3. If you buy from Starbucks this side, probably end up with $8 or $9. Dunkin' Donut app is good too when you use the app, right? When you collect the point, they give you free food, free drink, all kind of drink. It depends on how many points you collect. So either I'm gonna drink Dunkin' or Lucky. So I don't drink Starbucks at all, no matter what. I don't like Starbucks.
I think it's overpriced. That's in my opinion. And then we buy different kinds of beans, and then it's roasted, and then we just grind it at home. So we have more various options that we can have at home. But for Starbucks, I just have to say, if I'm not sitting in there, it's overpriced for me.
You use it to eat and talk, but having a healthy mouth is worth much more than just a pretty smile.
It's about an investment in your overall health and well-being.
Dr. Stephen Katz with the American Association of Endodontists says patients don't often realize that oral health plays a big role in overall health.
If you have healthy teeth, that you can improve your cardiovascular health, you can reduce your risk of diabetes, and you can improve your cognitive function as you age.
Despite those reasons, officials say oral health in U.S. adults hasn't changed much the past 2 decades. About 90% of adults between the ages of 20 to 64 have some tooth decay, and nearly half of adults between 45 and 64 years of age have gum disease. Some may dismiss tooth pain due to lack of insurance, as about 1 in 4 working age adults don't have it. Others may dread getting care. About 1 in 5 adults have moderate to high dental fear and anxiety.
The fact that people say that root canals are painful is really a myth.
Katz says new techniques, advanced technologies, and improved local anesthesia now make the procedure pain-free, quick, and easy.
If you need a root canal, don't be hesitant to go.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Bad Bunny, debí tirar más fotos.
An overwhelmed Bad Bunny warmed up for the Super Bowl by accepting 3 Grammys, including Album of the Year.
I'm gonna say, eyes out. We don't hate them. We love our people, we love our family, and that's the way to do it, with love.
Immigration was also on the minds of Song of the Year winners Billie Eilish and Phineas.
No one is illegal on stolen land.
And Best New Artist winner Olivia Dean.
I guess I want to say I'm up here as a granddaughter of an immigrant. I'm a product of bravery, and I think those people deserve to be celebrated.
Jelly Rolls celebrated Jesus after winning a trio of trophies.
Jesus is for everybody. Jesus is not owned by one political party. Jesus is not owned by no music label. Jesus is Jesus, and anybody can have a relationship with him.
Talk about a trailblazer. A lengthy in memoriam segment featured Reba McEntire's first ever Grammys performance. And all-star tributes to Ozzy Osbourne and to D'Angelo and Roberta Flack.
I feel like making love.
Kendrick Lamar!
The night's biggest winner was Kendrick Lamar with 5 awards, including Record of the Year, giving him 27 lifetime, passing Jay-Z as the Grammy's most awarded rapper.
So I appreciate y'all. God is the glory. Love y'all.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
After all these years, you're the only one that survived. Why?
February begins with an ending as The Strangers Chapter 3 wraps up the Home Invaders horror trilogy.
There's a courier carrying watches and gems, and the buyer's paying cash.
Mid-February brings Chris Hemsworth, Halle Berry, and Mark Ruffalo in Crime 101.
You don't belong here, goat. You're too small.
The animated sports adventure GOAT. and Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi in a new take on the classic Wuthering Heights.
This Paul McCartney of Wings. It was about trying to do something different.
February also brings a pair of major music documentaries. Man on the Run, about Paul McCartney's post-Beatles years, hits theaters for one day, February 19th, before landing on Prime Video.
If you feel it, you can't help but move to it.
And Baz Luhrmann's epic Elvis Presley in Concert opens in IMAX theaters that same week, before expanding to wide release a week later.
Hello?
Hello, Sydney. Did you miss me?
And February ends as it began, with horror, as Neve Campbell returns in Scream 7. Watching through my fingers in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Take a look at the week we had. A very talented toddler made world records history twice, and at just 2 years old. Guinness World Records announced Jude Owens from Manchester, England is now a double world record holder in the table sport of snooker after becoming the youngest person ever to pot 2 balls in 2 different pockets at once and pulling off a bank shot. Jude's dad says he's shown an aptitude for the game since the very first time he picked up a stick. Not sure if it's a record, but certainly amazing was a high-flying feat pulled off by a team of skydiving wingsuiters who took to the skies to fly through the eye of the world's tallest hotel. Following dozens of practice jumps and at speeds of roughly 125 miles per hour, a skydiver from the ex-Dubai team broke formation and shot straight through the Ciel Dubai Marina's so-called keyhole architecture. Another flight had a less than perfect ending when a NASA research plane was forced to execute an emergency belly landing at a Houston, Texas airport. After this WB-57's landing gear reportedly failed to deploy, the aircraft could be seen skidding down in a fiery and wheelless landing. Thankfully, no one was injured in the incident. Finally, it was super cold all week. And while that's not exactly breaking news, a pipe that broke in the Bronx turned into a freezing waterfall, which in turn turned a van parked below it into a giant ice cube on wheels. Crews responded to the bizarre scene to dig out and presumably thaw out the frozen vehicle. For Take a Look at This Week, I'm Jeremy Roth.
This is a desecration of this building.
President Trump says he will move to close Washington's Kennedy Center for 2 years, starting in July for construction. Trump's announcement follows a wave of cancellations by artists since he ousted the previous leadership and added his name to the building. The president announced his plan days after the premiere of Melania, a documentary of the First Lady, was shown at the storied venue. Trump says the proposal is subject to approval by the board of the Kennedy Center, which has been stocked with his hand-picked allies. Composer Philip Glass recently announced his decision to withdraw his Symphony No. 15 Lincoln because he said the values of the center today are in direct conflict with the message of the piece. Last month, the Washington National Opera announced that it will move performances away from the Kennedy Center in another high-profile departure. The Kennedy Center began as a national cultural center, but Congress renamed it as a living memorial to President John F. Kennedy in 1964, in the aftermath of the slain president's death. It is open year-round as a public showcase for the arts, including the National Symphony Orchestra.
Fox 54 Plus has your news, sports, and weather. Start your evening with Fox 54 at 5:30, delivering the latest headlines and live reports straight from the scene. Then, stay informed with Fox 54 News at 9, featuring your Tennessee Valley certified most accurate weather impact team, tracking everything from tornado threats to traffic delays during severe weather. Fox 54 Sports Extra brings you more of what sports fans crave, with deeper insights, expert analysis, and all the action that matters most. On Fox 54 Plus, you'll also find Alabama politics, plus 24/7 weather radar and real-time forecasts to keep you ahead of the storm. Looking for a quick recap? Don't miss Fox 54 Week in Review, highlighting the biggest stories of the week. Jumpstart your morning with Morning Rush. Fast-paced news updates, featured with uplifting stories from across the globe. Get your entertainment fix with Getting Real, where we break down movie reviews, top 10 lists, and spotlight the newest film. Die Hard fan? Locked On Sports dives deep into the Crimson Tide, the Tigers, college rivalries, and pro action. true crime more your style? Killer Cases brings you gripping, real-life stories that stick with you. Hungry for more? Cooking with Style serves up mouth-watering recipes that are easy to make and impossible to resist. From movie previews before you head to the theater with Take a Look to must-know headlines from across the region and around the world with In the News. Download the Fox 54 Plus app today on Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, or Samsung TV. Open the app and dive into non-stop content.
There's more to Fox 54 Plus with the Locked On Podcast Network. From the Tide to the Tigers, from college teams to pro, the Locked On Podcast Network gives you insights and analysis you just can't find anywhere else.
These kids, they want to play.
I don't think so. I think it was Chad Baker Mazzara.
Locked On Sports, streaming every day of the week and right here on Fox 54 Plus.
Did you know that you can get weather impact updates 24/7 on Fox 54 Plus? Here's how. Go to Fox 54 Plus on your Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, or Samsung. Once you're on the main screen, push the down arrow and click on the Fox 54 Plus Weather Impact 24/7 block. Here, you'll find radar, current temperatures and conditions, traffic cams, forecasts, and more, all available on demand. Want to get back to the main channel? Just push the down arrow and click on the 24/7 stream button. It's your weather impact updates 24/7 on Fox 54 Plus. Start streaming today.